Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. Hope you're having a great day. And as you can see, we have got the Ice Golem tournament going live, the special one that the community voted on for the Undead Hordes. So what we're going to do in this video is show you the team that I'm going to be using for this tournament. And then I will also pull up a list where we go over the top legendary options and the top non-legendary options so that you can kind of get a quick grasp of this faction and try to put together a team for the Undead tournament if you are going to participate in it. So let's get into it. Alrighty, now we can't click on this to see the rewards yet, but the way they've been going about these tournaments is there's some sort of reward at the top, like a 5-star chicken or a 6-star chaos ore or something. Hopefully they put a void shard or something in the Ice Golem tournament, but as you can see, usually, in my opinion, the biggest incentive to go for these is kind of these like second and third rewards, getting the coins and then like an ancient shard or something. So not something that we typically have to go super hard in the paint on, but it is nice to scoop up rewards while you are grinding. So if you can put together a team realistically, you might as well go ahead and scoop up some of those resources. Then when we're trying to decide what level to get into when we're heading into grinding this, usually for tournaments, people like to do stage 20 because I always remind you it is the best stage in terms of points per energy spent because it's only 16 energy as opposed to the 18 or 20 down here at 24 or 25. So probably the one that you can best clear between those three stages, 20, 24, or 25, the one that you can get the fastest, most reliable time on, I would just go with that. If you're more of a early to mid-game player, then just do what stage you can, and you're going to have to kind of base it off of your account accordingly. So for the team that I'm going to be using, you'll see it pictured up there. But again, don't feel bad if you can't put together my exact team. I've been playing for a very long time, and I'm lucky enough to have a lot of very good Undead Horde champions. We will go over the faction as a whole, and I'll show you some of the other champions to consider while doing this. So let me go ahead and pull up a run, and we'll talk about what I'm going to be doing and the thought process and all of that while we're clearing here. So I can also pull up RSL Helper, and boom. Okay, so the team that I'm personally going to be going with that I can throw together realistically without having to spend millions of silver and move stuff around and spend a bunch of books out of nowhere, just kind of with what I currently have on my roster, is going to be this Masha-led double Battle Rotos Euros team. Now Euros, because I'm lucky enough to have one of the better souls I've been able to summon from Immortal Soulstones, and getting a blessing on him with that Brimstone to help out. And then we've got the Rotos obviously for hitting super hard and also blocking revive on some of the minions if you get some decent RNG with that. And then the double battle to crank out those poisons and heals just to make sure I can keep it as close to a 100% win rate as possible. And then Masha led with all the utility he brings with increasing the speed and also the crit damage and also doing a decent amount of damage. Now, these are not going to be super fast runs, especially if you want it to be a 100% win rate. The Golem may be the toughest dungeon to clear super fast and also at a 100% win rate. You'll see a lot of Ice Golem teams in the community that are like a 99.5% win rate, just because they're trying to clear it super fast, but in doing so, there's just some insane RNG that can stack against you when it comes to trying to clear the dungeon effectively because of the way the Ice Golem functions. It can hit super hard, it can ignore all defense. If you just happen to get his turn meter down to a certain threshold while both the minions are alive, it is going to hit you insanely hard, and it can one-shot lots of champions if they happen to roll towards the top end of their damage proc. So as you can see, I'm getting to the boss at about a minute and a half. These runs will probably take around 3 minutes or so, but my team should be very reliable and have a good blend of some damage and some sustain and some utility. So here we go. We are coming up towards the end of the run. I fast forwarded a little bit, and you can see my Masha-led got sat down, had a little bit of bad RNG. May have cost me a little bit of time, but nothing too bad. We're still going to be pretty close to that 3-minute mark. So, I'm not worried about trying to design a specialized team that can blast through this. It'd be really hard to get super low and close to some of my best times, which are usually somewhere in that minute to a minute and 30 mark. I'm just trying to build a reliable team to get after the tournament when it goes live. And if you want to see some of the numbers on how it shook out for my team, the Mashaled got sat down, so he ended up not doing a whole lot. He probably would have been somewhere around 1 million if he didn't die. And then the Bad L's doing a lot of damage with the with the poisons and stuff. Rotos coming in as the MVP. He's built in a lot of ignore defense, very high damage arena kind of build. And then Urost coming through with the blessing, able to do over 1 million damage as well. So now let's shift to talking about the Undead Hordes as a faction within the game, some of the other champions to consider and things like that. Now, I would say the Undead Hordes probably come out pretty unanimously as a top 2 faction in the game. I think if you did some polling of the overall community, you would probably get Demon Spawn and Undead kind of regarded as those top 2 factions in the game, and you might get a little bit of dissent in opinion on which one is going to be number 1 amongst those 2. But Demon Spawn and Undead are probably pretty unanimously top 2. Demon Spawn with like Duchess and Kymar, Helikath, and all of the insane Mortimacabre, Wither, just so many amazing champions in the Demon Spawn, and then the Undead obviously with Siphi, Nekarit, Battle, Mashaled, Rotos, Ultimate Death Knight, just so many really good ones here as well, and they just added to it with Morrigan, who's honestly a pretty solid champion as well. And I also made a little graphic here just to kind of articulate when we're talking about these different champions in the Undead Hordes. So for the top 10 legendary options, I went with Siphi as number 1. She's just so ridiculous with the revive and the increased speed and everything that she brings to the table in supporting your team. Revive is going to be an amazing mechanic in the Ice Golem because, like I said, things can go awry, things can go horribly wrong. You can get bad RNG, you can get 2 or 3 people in your team slapped down, and having a revive is going to be huge for you. So also people that place shields or ally protection, stuff like that. So you'll see champions like Nekarit be really useful, and then even down below where you have like Gorgorab with the revives as well. So Siphi, Nekarit, Battle, Morrigan, bringing a really good aura to the field that can help you get something useful out of an aura when you're building a team. So to go along with her pretty solid, generally useful kit. Mashaled, Rotos is great because he can actually, if you get good RNG on him and things kind of break your way, you can block revive on the minions that the Ice Golem is trying to revive. And then Ultimate Death Knight, Urost, Bloodgorged, Netheril. A lot of people actually forget that Bloodgorge it can be a budget kind of Rotos because of the A3 right here that can hit super hard, ignore all defense, and enemies killed by the skill cannot be revived. So an option that a lot of people forget about out there that can also do block revive in the context of this dungeon. Then down there for the epics, you've got Gorgorab for the revives and utility, Vogoth for tons of healing that he can bring. Anax is an amazing damage dealer, can provide really good debuffs against the boss. Mausoleum Mage, Frozen Banshee, Husk, Dark Elaine. Grinner is a super budget revive option. Baltus Droglore can really help you with being tanky, and then Seducer kind of rounding it out there as just kind of a decent general utility void rare. So yeah, I'll leave that up for a little bit, and I would really appreciate if you leave a comment down below. Let me know where you agree or disagree. It's always fun to use the comment section as a resource for us all to learn from each other as well. So yeah, where did I rank a champion too high or too low? And is there someone that should be on that list that you think would be great in this tournament? You know, it's kind of tough with the Undead because, like I said, they are one of the best factions in the game. So you end up leaving off people that have some pretty decent utility, like Harvest Jack can be really good at wave suppression and helping you get to the boss. So there's some champions on here that are definitely very strong, but the Undead are just such a good faction that I have to kind of split hairs and try to put together a comprehensive list for this tournament. So yeah, if you're going to be diving into the Undead Ice Golem tournament, good luck. And hopefully when it goes live, we'll be able to see some sort of reward up there at the top to really make it worth it. I always go over the stuff going on in game on a daily basis. So we will keep you in the loop here on the channel on if this tournament is going to be worth investing some resources into or not, because we do have a lot of stuff coming up. We've got a Fusion starting next week. We've got CVC starting on Tuesday. I don't think the Ice Golem tournament is going to be live during CVC. So if it goes live tomorrow on Saturday, you go like it's going to be close. It's going to be close on coinciding with CVC or not. It's kind of like right there where it could, or it might already be over. But do keep in mind that we've got a lot of craziness coming up next week with the Fragment, the new Fragment champion, and then also CVC launching on Tuesday. Plus, right now, we've got the craziness with the Guarantee for Stultus Dragonbane that I'm probably going to try to get after today as well and see how that goes on YOLOing some resources for him. So as always, remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content. I'll see you soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.